Hi, what's up guys? Today I'm going to show you how to bring the data, the panel data, into EViews and STATA. So in front of me in Excel, I have a set of panel data. How do I know it is a panel data? Because I have countries, year and GDP, and the countries comprise of many countries. Okay, so the countries here is not only one, but I have a lot of countries here, from American Samoa until Venezuela. Alright, so these are the countries, and each and every countries, this is the first country, this is the second countries, and so on. And for each and every countries, I have the same years, 2004 to 2017. Okay, and these are my data on GDP. Okay, so the second country also from 2004 to 2017, and so on. Right, so altogether, I have almost thousands of data, I think. Okay, or hundreds of data, almost 771 data set. And if you look at my data here, I got this data from the World Bank. If you look at this data here, some of the values are missing. It's okay to have a missing value, because what you have to do now is you just take or bring this data set into EViews and STATA. After this, for the next video, I will show you how to treat the missing values. Okay, how to treat the missing values. Alright, but make sure in the panel data setting, make sure that each and every country will have the same years. Okay, will have the same years from 2004 to 2017. Right. So what to do is, first I will show you on how to bring this into EViews. Okay, so you go to EViews in your desktop, open it. And then of course, when you want to bring the data into EViews, what you have to do is you just create a new EViews work file and make sure this is a balanced panel, because we are using a panel data analysis. And my data is in annual, and it starts from 2007 to 2014. 2004 to 2017. Let's recheck first. 4 to 2017, yes. And the number of cross sections, what are they? Number of cross sections are actually the number of countries that I have here. So I have 55 countries, so you just put 55. In your case might be different. Then you click OK. Alright. Next, to bring the data from Excel into EViews, what you have to do is you just type data. The command is data. So when you type a command of data, you are actually bringing the Excel file from Excel into EViews. So data, and what is your variable? So in my case, I only have one variable called as GDP. Okay, so I only have this variable as GDP. If you have more variables, then you put your names of the variables. If you have 5, then you have to list all the 5 names of the variables. Okay, so in my case, data, and this is my variable name, GDP, and then you click OK. Click enter. Once you click enter, they will ask you to paste the data here. So you go back to your Excel and copy just the data. Copy just the data set from the first until the end, including the missing variable. Don't worry too much on the missing variable, because I'll show you after this in the next video on how to treat the missing information. Copy, and then you go to EViews and paste it here. Paste. Automatically it will give you, they will paste you all the data. NA means the data is not available. So don't worry again, because in the next video I will show you on how to treat the missing data. Sorry. So you just click X. Yeah? So when you click X, automatically the GDP is already listed in your EViews. Okay. So the cross ID is the number of years, countries in which I have 55 years from 2004 to 2017. 55 countries. Date ID is the year that I have for each and every cross section. C is just a constant. In this case, the constant is 0, because I didn't conduct any regression yet. The GDP is my data, the first variable. I only have one variable. And the receipt is the residual. Again, the receipt is NA, because as of now, I didn't conduct any regression yet. Okay, so that's how on how you can bring the Excel file from Excel data from panel into EViews. Now I'll show you what if I want to bring the same Excel into STATA, because STATA is also very useful if you want to use panel data analysis. So you open up STATA. Okay, so let me close this first. Don't save. Okay, open up STATA. I'm using STATA 14. Alright, and you can click the data editor here. You have data editor, and then you go to your Excel and you copy everything. You copy from the countries into the GDP, all variables, the year, the cross section, and the variables, copy, including the missing data, copy, and then you go back to your STATA, and then you go back to data editor, paste it here. Okay, paste. And of course, my first row is treated as variable name, because this is actually the variable names. Okay, then here you see that this one are in red, while this one is this one are in black. It means that the data is the STATA is able to understand these values. The dot here means the missing variable, the missing data. Don't worry too much on the missing data, because I'll show you after this on how to treat this. And the country's name are all in red. Red means STATA unable to recognize this as countries. Okay, so we have to let STATA know on the remarks that the countries are actually the cross section. So don't worry. So just click X. Once you click X, you go back here. You have GDP here, you have countries, and you also have years. And we have three variables, 770 observation pasted into data editor. So here STATA believe that these three are variables, including countries. So this is wrong. So we need to let the STATA know that country is actually the cross section, the year is actually the year, the time, and the GDP is the variable. So the command here, we have command here. The command that you have to use is type TSSET, TSET. Okay, type TSSET space. After TSSET, you have to type the name of your year. The name of your cross section. So the name of my cross section is countries. Okay, you just click here. We have this one, just countries, easy. Or you also can type. And after the cross section, so the TSET, after the TSET is the cross section name, and after the cross section name is the year name, the name of the year. So TSET, countries, and year, and then you just click OK, enter. What happened here is that the string variables not allowed in valis. The countries is a string variable, so means here STATA believe that countries are text. Okay, if you open countries, you go back to this, countries are all in red, so we have to encode these countries into something that STATA know, right? So before we go to TSET, you have to use ENCODE, encode. So the rule of encode is actually to convert the string variable into something that STATA understand. So encode, what is the name of the variable? The countries. Encode countries, because countries is a string variable. Comma. And then generate. We encode countries. We let the STATA to generate a new variable name as countries1. We cannot use the same name as countries, because STATA will think it is actually a redundant. So we let the STATA to encode the countries into something that they understand and name the countries into countries1. Okay, enter. Right. So what happened here is that we have two countries here, countries and countries1. And if you open up the STATA data editor, if you see here, we have another one, American Samoa, and so on, but all in blue. Before this one is in red, right? So we have to drop this. Okay, so to drop this, because we don't want to confuse, we drop the rate variable. The rate variable is countries, so the command is just drop the country's name. Okay, and then I want to name this countries one as countries. Then what you should do is rename. Okay, the code is rename, the command is rename countries one into countries. Okay, I don't want to use the word countries one, I want to rename it into countries. So just click that, automatically it will give you countries. Okay, so what I'm doing here is, at first I want to set the data into panel, but then STATA is not allowed because the countries are string variable. So I have to change the string variable into something that STATA is able to understand. So I encode the countries by generating new variable called as countries1. So this variable is no longer used, therefore I drop this and I rename this into countries. Then I can go back to tset countries here. Okay, so you don't have to type, you just go to the first command here, just click here and then it will give you the same command. Tset is the command to set the data into panel data, and then after tset is the name of the cross section. So my cross section names is countries, and after that is the name of the time. The name of my time is the year. Then you click enter. Automatically STATA will let you know that they have countries. You have countries as the panel variable or the cross section variable. The time is the year from 2004 to 2017, and the delta is 1 unit. Here it says here strongly balanced. Strongly balanced means most of your data have dataset. Means if you go to data editor, this is your data, right? The GDP is your variable, and most of the GDP variable have data inside. That is strongly balanced. Majority have data inside. Maybe one or two don't have data, right? So that's all on how to bring the panel data from Excel into STATA and EViews. Okay, in the next video I will show you how to treat the missing data, because before you conduct any regression or any type of analysis, of course you want to make sure that there is no missing data. Okay, you can treat all this missing data given that the missing data is very small. Okay, so stay tuned.